4 points from 2 games is great for Stoke City. The new manager's new philosophy is starting to take shape, including 4 cannonballs against Pompey. Here to talk about that and the Swansea draw are Carl and Dan on Where Potters Walk. Welcome. We are very excited to be back this week and not have such glum faces. Welcome back, Carl. Welcome back, Dan. Liam is taking a break this week, but I'm sure he'd be delighted to talk about that Portsmouth game, which is where we are going to start. Carl, did you see that?
It was never in doubt, was it, really? No, to be honest with you, as soon as I saw the stat that Portsmouth hadn't won a game, them stats always haunt Stoke. So the second I saw that stat, it had Portsmouth 1-0 written all over it. But yeah, went a lot better than what we expected.
Absolutely. Dan, apart from Tom Cannon, who stood out for you in that game?
I thought Bajano had a good game for once, which is unusual this season. I mean, I like him. He was our best player last season, and I thought he had a good game today. I think this season, this is probably the only good game I've seen him have. I know some people might disagree with me, but I thought he was quite good.
Okay. 6 goals, though, Carl. I mean, were Portsmouth that bad or was Stoke that good? Be honest.
Mix of both, to be honest with you. It was a mix of both. I mean, I think Gallagher played his first game for us. He made a massive difference. And it's the first time we went back to the old formation of 4-4-2. And it just really worked. You know, we were getting balls into Gallagher, who was holding it up and feeding Cannon in. It just worked very well. But as good as the performance was, you can see why Portsmouth are where they are.
Yeah. Fair comment. Let's switch our attention to Swansea game as well then, Dan. Devon said the fact that we've just played out for a 0-0 draw against Swansea is diabolical. Some fans weren't happy with the performance, but do you get frustrated when you read things like this? I mean, are fans asking too much here, Dan?
Yeah, I think people are too negative. Like, I wouldn't say it was diabolical. I thought we played well, to be honest. But I will say that I am disappointed with the draw. I wanted to win the game, and the players gave it a good go. But credit to Swansea that they're a good team defensively, and yeah, in the end, both teams cancel each other out. So, yeah, I thought it was a good game.
On the other hand of that, James said it was a fair result, Carl. But he said Manhoff takes too many touches and Tesgel offers absolutely nothing. Do you agree with both of James's points?
I'm not having a dig at James, but it's Stoke fans all over, you know what I mean? If Tesgal goes on a run now and scores, we'll be singing he's one of our own, he's the best young prospect we've ever produced. The Manhoff one, yeah. I think against Hull, there's a few times he was through on goal, he could have squared it, and he did take too many touches, but probably up to the last 2 games, Manhoff has been our best player. It's just Stoke fans just jump on play as soon as they have 1-2 bad games. That's it for us. You don't give them no more chances. So, yeah, I agree to some extent, yeah. But like I say, very negative. You know, just got to keep going now with what we've got.
Okay. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do so. We're looking for 75 subscribers. We know there's other Stoke content which you can watch, but do hit that subscribe button. Dan, I want to ask you about the referee. Who's coming for a lot of criticism. What was your views of some of the decisions that went against Stoke?
Terrible. Absolutely terrible. I mean, there was one point where a Swansea player put it out or something, but then he gave a goal kick instead of a corner. I mean, what planet is this ref on? We could see it from that away end. It was right in front of the Stoke fans as well. It hit the Swansea player and should be a corner, but he gave a goal kick instead, and it almost led to them scoring. And
yeah,
this is the thing I hate. These decisions sometimes cost teams, and yeah, it's very bad.
Well, you went on your own with that. Afe says, I can't be mad at a clean sheet away from home when the ref was like that. We had good chances and an incredible goalkeeper as well. Stuart says he was happy with that. If only we played the whole game like the last 15 minutes. So your manager, Carl, as I've listened to his interviews, he actually sounds like he knows what he's doing. when you listen to him. Are you getting more excited the more you hear what he has to say post games?
Yeah, but to be honest with you, I bought into the last two managers. I was a big Shuey fan. I was a big Alex Neil fan. So I'm keeping level-headed. But yeah, I like the way he's talking at the minute. I like his philosophy. And I have picked up on something as well today. I'm probably reading too much into it, but Ben Wilmot's interview after the game, he sort of, praised the manager up, said he likes where we're going. I don't know whether there was a few little subtle digs in there at Shuey. He says it's a positive change, a breath of fresh air, and the players sort of know what we're doing now. So if the players are buying into it, we'll buy in it. Let's face it, won't we? If the performances are there, that's all you can hope for.
Absolutely, yeah, and far better performances than your last couple of away games at obviously at Plymouth and Oxford as well. All right, then let's leave those games to one side then, and we'll focus on Norwich next week. So join us for that one. And crikey, if Pelach should know anything about any other side in this division, it should be Norwich, given that's where you stole him from. We'll talk about that though next week. We're also chatting about atmospheres this week and home ground atmospheres in particular. Dan, the Bet 365 ground is one of the best when the fans are behind the side, but I think it's fair to say it's one of the worst when things aren't going your way. What's it been like so far this season for Stoke at home, and what impact have the crowd had on results?
Well, it's weird because at the start of the game, the fans are all behind the team and singing for them and cheering. But then when something goes wrong, it quickly turns toxic. And I can understand that because Stoke fans demand a lot. And yeah, but I usually get behind them. And sometimes I demand so much. But yes, sometimes it just takes time.
Mm-hmm. Most of the Championship stadiums are very quiet at home, Carl. We've already spoken to our Leeds fans, our Sunderland fans, our Sheffield United fans. It just says, look, the atmosphere is awful at the moment. You've got your little light show, but in terms of atmosphere, what's it been like, would you say, so far for Stoke this season?
Yeah, sort of had that reputation, didn't we, the Premier League days when it was the bear pit, as you call it. We've introduced a new safe standing area now, so that sort of section's quite good. But obviously, with the results and how the team's been playing, the numbers have dropped down. And yeah, like Dan said, really, we're very impatient as Stoke fans. I'll hold my hands up and say the same. If the ball goes back, which it does with modern football now, you'll have a corner and it'll end up going back to Johansson because he's all about possession. It does get a bit hostile, but just got to see how these next few games go. If we've been playing the way we have these last two games, it can only get better.
All right. Thank you very much for that. Then we're also asking about what's the earliest you've ever left a game. 26 minutes so far is the record we've found from our Sunderland fan. Carl, what's the earliest you've ever left a Stoke game? Can you remember?
Believe it or not, you won't believe when I say this, but it was last week against Portsmouth. I had to leave on the 73rd minute because I got to be up at 3:30 in the morning.
Oh, well, that's fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, okay. For footballing reasons, though, Dan, have you ever left a game for the hour mark?
No, but I'd say last season against Leicester, we were 4-0 down, and I was like, yeah, I'm leaving. I'm not watching this rubbish. And then we're walking back and found out Vardy scored a penalty and it was 5-0. And yeah, I was like, oh no.
Yeah. Okay. What's the earliest you've ever left a Stoke game? A Sunderland fan left at 26 minutes.
Oh yeah.
3-0 down at Swansea.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments.
I was just going to get to that. Probably, I think it was about 80th minute or something. Yeah, I usually stay till the end, but that game was that bad. I left that early.
All right. See if you can beat that. Let us know in the comments. Right, you two, we'll see you next week where we are chatting all things Norwich City. Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you at the other side of the international break. Cheers for watching.